Good morning, folks. How are you doing? What is today, the 29th? It's the 28th. I never know what day it is. It's a Tuesday, I know that much, down here in Tampa, Florida. And a week from today, something's going to start. So, I thought I would cover it a little bit since I haven't covered it before. Today's video is going to touch a number of fucking third rails. We're going to talk about the FBI cracking down on dissent, trying to normalize the idea that speech is violence, that they have to be able to lock up folks for saying the wrong things, especially because the wrong things they say might get them to vote the wrong way. We're going to talk about the Russians. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about a lot of things. One thing we're going to talk about in this video is racism. Racism and race baiting, because it is unavoidable when you talk about this topic. Absolutely 100% unavoidable. We're going to talk about white guilt. We're going to talk about the Uhuru movement and the trial that is taking place a week from today, starting down here in Tampa, of the Uhuru 3. I received an email from St. Pete for Peace. I was like, wow, I haven't heard from those guys really since, January of this year. It's been a while. St. Pete for Peace, they used to do shit. I remember because I would meet up with them way back in the day to protest things and to let people know that, we stood for shit in the Bay Area down here in Tampa, St. Pete, Hillsborough, fucking Bay, whatever you want to call it. We used to stand for shit. Now, apparently, the only thing St. Pete for Peace stands for is, one, their luncheons that they do annually, every year in January, and two, oh yeah, that's right, black people. Scott, you're going to go all racist and piss people off. Listen, it is what it is. If you have an organization that peddles in racism, you cannot discuss them, much less defend them, without touching that third rail. And people told me recently, I have to watch what I say and I shouldn't fucking... Well, no, I don't. I'm not going to watch what I say, and I'm not going to avoid the third rails. That's kind of what... That's my... That's my stuff. That's my shtick. That's my wheelhouse. Third rails are where I belong, and so that's what I'm going to fucking do. Believe it or not, I am going to defend the Uhuru 3. By the way, as far as I can tell, the Uhuru, U-H-U-R-U. From what I understand, Uhuru stands for You Honkies Underwrite Reparations with the Urgency. Because that's what they fucking do. Yes, I know it's supposed to mean peace or some shit. It doesn't. It means you honkies underwrite the reparations with the urgency. That's what it means. They are a socialist organization, a Pan-African socialist organization, which apparently, in their mind, socialism means taking money and using it to build capitalist businesses for black folks, looking after black folks, and getting money from the government to do that, and, of course, guilt-ridden white folks. Speaking of guilt-ridden white folks, I got one for you. This is just the height of It's the height of fucking identity. This is what identity politics turns into eventually. And however, all that being said, the feds, the FBI, busting these people in two areas. Uhuru has, which means peace in one of the languages of the continent of Africa. I don't know which one, Swahili maybe, I don't know. I like mine better. You honkies underwrite reparations with the urgency. There were two arrests in 2022, early summer 2022. A bunch of raids, two locations, more arrests, two locations. I think one was St. Louis and one was St. Pete. And the charges that they leveled at them were just fucking wild. They said that they were agents of evil Vladimir Putin. This is in 2022. This is after the invasion of Ukraine, which was not an invasion, which was the Russians ignoring as long as they could the pleas of the people of the Donbass Republic, who had declared their autonomy from Ukraine because Ukraine had been overthrown in 2014 and they had a neo-Nazi fucking element in their government. And they didn't want to be part of that. Plus, there was a lot of hatred towards the Russian heritage of Ukraine, exhibited by the neo-Nazis. And, of course, thanks to Biden sending more munitions in December, they had been bombing the shit out of Donbass, Lugansk, and Donetsk, the Donbass Republic. They had been bombing the shit out of them for an entire month. And they were pleading with anybody in the world to help them. So, of course, the Russians did. That's as simple as it is. People say it's NATO, this and that, bullshit. That's as simple as it was. Which, by the way, is permissible under UN fucking United Nations Charter, if not required under United Nations Charter. Well, I have links to all that stuff down below. You'll see that down below. So, basically, along in 2000 and early summer 2002, the feds decide to go after the Uhuru movement because the Uhuru movement have been publishing articles and giving speeches saying they stand with the people of Donbass and their right to self-determination. And they don't agree with the establishment view that Russia, evil Putin, for no reason has invaded fucking Kiev, which he never did. And for that, the FBI decided to break into their offices and arrest them. They were giving African Americans a different perspective on what was happening in Ukraine. That's one thing that you would think that the alt-right would be all over the Biden administration on, was it Biden administration? Yeah, the Biden administration on that. You would think they'd be all over the Biden administration on that one, using the feds to bust into an organization and silence them and make up bullshit. But they aren't. The alt-right hardly even mention it. Why? Because Uhuru stands for, yeah, that's right. You honkies underwrite reparations with the urgency. And they call themselves a Pan-African socialist organization. Though they certainly don't behave like any socialists I've ever read about. So, I'm going to do it for them. Since the alt-right won't touch it, talk about fucking the fascism of using the fucking FBI Gestapo to go after people who are proud thought criminals I guess it's to me to do it. If I have to mention the R word in the process, so be it. Scott, you say, what do you mean the R word? What evidence do you have that there's any sort of racism involved in this whatsoever? Let's get that the fuck out the way first and foremost. This is the email that I got. This is half of the email I got. Not one step backwards. March and rally. Hands off Chairman Omali Shitala. I don't know. Joseph. Hands off Joe. Okay? Drop the charges. That's Saturday, August 31st, 2024 at 11 a.m. right here in the Bay Area. Meet up at the Uhuru house and then do what? I don't know. But that came to me via St. Pete from Peace. St. Pete for Peace did jack fucking shit all year long for Gaza. Did jack fucking shit all year long for fucking Ukraine. Okay? Nothing. Zero. Zip. No fucking street actions that I can tell. Nothing on their website. No pictures of this. No videos. Nothing. From January until Saturday, August 31st. There you go. Great. Stand up for him because we oppose the FBI Gestapo being used in such a way. And here's the second half of that email. Yes, that's right. Hands off. Joe. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name. They have directions on how to get to the Uhuru house in St. Petersburg. You can register. That's the Uhuru 3 trial. I don't understand. It's hands off Joe. Okay, but they keep mentioning the Uhuru 3. Did they mention it in this one? I don't think they do. Yes, small print. The Uhuru 3. Drop the charges on the Uhuru 3. But it's all about Joe. Who would the other two of the three be? Which black individuals have they forgotten to mention? Why are there no pictures of these black individuals? Why? Because those black individuals are actually white. That's right. That's funny. They don't give a shit. No, hands off Chairman Joe. Oh my God, big picture. Uhuru 3. Yeah, and help the other two. But hands off Joe. But yeah, the other two guys, people are white. What is she wearing? That's right. She's wearing a shirt that says, I'm an okay white person because I support reparations for black folks. That would be Penny Hess. Do I know whether or not Penny Hess is related to that Hess family? No. I tried to see if I could find any kind of connection. I don't know. And of course, Jesse Neville. Jesse Neville. Now, he's not wearing a I support reparations for African people. It looks like they gave her that because she's wearing something underneath it, but they had to give her that T-shirt to her. I don't fucking know. But he is speaking at this event. And what's that word right there? That's right, boys and girls. He's speaking at an event where he's in support of reparations. Because when the white people are involved in the Uhuru fucking movement, that's what they have to say. That's what they have to do. Don't tell me I'm fucking racist. Don't tell me I'm fucking wrong. I bring receipts. I got receipts right here. Here you go. Watch her. Now watch this dude. I think this is Tampa with the possible exception of that. That might be St. Louis, because there are mountains in the background there, and we don't have a lot of fucking mountains in Florida, so I don't know who this is. This is from 2021. This is Channel 5 with Andrew Callaghan. What does it say in the About section? We are now sponsored by Cash App. It's a grift. No, that's gone. So apparently this is just a grift. But there you go. You'll notice, even though she's very fucking excitable and very happy and very fucking proud to be there, supporting the "you honkies underwrite reparations with the urgency" movement. Is that fucking Andrew Callaghan? I don't know. He's got a microphone, even though there's a big ass speaker here, so I don't know. I don't know. However, they don't really seem to have a huge turnout with all the maskies. Let's have a listen and see if we can determine just what is expected of white folks involved in the Uhuru movement.
Uhuru! Uhuru, everybody! Uhuru means freedom in Swahili. I just want to welcome all of you.
Black, trans, queer lives matter. I wonder if she has like a whole closet full of different fucking identity politics t-shirts. She always puts one on so she can fit right in wherever she goes. She looks so goddamn happy to be there too. Look at her. That's what it does to you, man. I'm sorry, but that's what it does. If you live your life drenched in fucking thinking about racism and race and fucking identity politics and only these people matter and these people don't, that's what you turn into. You eat fucking chocolate marshmallow pinwheels all fucking day long, get mad at yourself, figure out which goddamn identity politics t-shirt you have to wear for that day, because where you're going, you'll blend right in. But this is what you turn into. I'm just saying. Listen, I'm just saying.
Today,
Make America pay reparations. I guess. Am I going to say this? Yeah. I guess the white folks go to these things thinking they got to wear these shirts to keep from getting stabbed. White people are so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Oh, God, Jesus.
thank all of you for coming out to the March for Reparations to African People.
Uhuru! Now, did you see the crowd? Did you see the crowd? This is apparently 2019, not 2021. I don't know what the fuck this 2021. Let's go back and watch. There's the crowd. And I think this is a goat. This is the crowd. You notice there's not a lot of black people there. Why? Because they got jobs. They have to work for a living. Oh my God, this is so pathetic. Here we go.
For reparations to African people. Uhuru! Give yourselves all a round of applause.
Give yourselves a round of applause. Somebody please fix my underbite. What the fuck is that dude? He's just trying to get laid. This dude's just trying his best to get laid. It took him a while to figure out how many cuffs does he have on his pants. Good God. Are his pants cuffed like that? I don't. I'm sorry. I'm just such a nitpicky bastard. See, people say this is why people don't watch me. People don't like me because I'm so mean. I'm so mean. Yep. Look at that dude just sitting there shaking his head. Look at the black dude just sitting there shaking his head. Yep. That's my thumbnail right there. Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah. Looking at these fucking white people.
I'm a descendant of settlers, and I believe in reparations in order to heal our nation.
Is that the same chick? It's not the same chick, is it?
We need to address racially based climate change in order to save our planet, in order...
This is Uhuru, boys and girls. I'm sorry. I don't know what this. I don't think this is St. Pete. The mountains in the background. Maybe it is. I don't. I've never seen any mountains in fucking Florida. Maybe it's St. Pete, St. Louis. I don't fucking know.
To save this race, and we need to give reparations before we're going to be able to heal anything, including our planet.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you. Your heart's in the right place.
Your heart's in the right place, you fucking moron. Jesus God. Yeah, your heart's in the right place, baby. Yeah, look at him looking at it. He's like, yeah. We could start those reparations as soon as I turn this camera off. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Yeah, this is the Uhuru movement. There's a link to that video in here if you like. Is there, which one is it? It's one of these down here. Yeah, there's one. There's a Uhuru thing. Let's get to the Uhuru movement website itself, shall we? Let's do that just real quickly. I know, because you think it's so bad of me to point out this is just fucking straight up race baiting. But it really is. So there you go. Here's the Uhuru movement. This is socialism for black people. And you need to pay us money for whites, for whitey. And yeah. Here you go. It's the African People's Socialist Party, uniting African people as one people for liberation, social justice, self-reliance, and economic development. If you want a world free from oppression, there's a place for you in this movement. Just oppress the shit out of that stupid fucking mindless goddamn white chick. To the point where she gives up a whole bunch of money. For what? Let's see. Black Star Industries, helping black people start businesses to benefit black people. The International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. This is to help black victims of police brutality. African People's Education and Defense Fund to make black people smarter. All these things are great. A lot of black people. I'm not seeing a whole lot of white people involved in this, but it's a socialist organization. It's talking about inclusivity. Burning Spear Media is for black fucking journalists, wannabe journalists. The African National Women's Organization, I wonder who that serves. And All African People's Development and Empowerment Project to empower black people. I'm not seeing a whole lot of stuff for white people. What about whitey? The White Solidarity Movement. What's the White Solidarity Movement all about? I need to see and learn more about this. Learn more about the white solidarity within the Uhuru, wearing black power shirts, holding up the black power opt-poor fist. Let's go see what whitey can do to help. And it takes you straight to their reparations page. Pay reparations, whitey. No, Scott, come on. This is the solidarity. See, it's all, white and black people. They actually, in this picture, have, this is the guy, one of the guys. This is the other guy, the one they care about. And this is the woman. This is Hess. Here you go. This is some information on that fucking thing. Oh, wait. Oh, it's reparations. Oh, it's more reparations. Oh, we need reparations. Reparations in action. Here's Penny Hess. She was wearing a shirt saying she needs to give reparations. Needs to give reparations to black people. This is what you can do as whitey to help black people help black people. You can pay reparations. Yes, I want to pay reparations. pay reparations to a black power blueprint, building political and economic power in the hands of African working class as part of the foundation of the anti-colonial liberated African workers' economy. You can pay $2,000 or a custom amount. This is what they do. This is what they do. And these are the folks that the FBI decided to go after. Gee, I wonder why it is that the alt-right isn't so pissed off about these guys being fucking arrested. However, when I say these guys, I just want you to know, I want you to remember, yes, indeed, one of them is black, but 66% of the ones we're talking about are Caucasian. Penny Hess and Jesse Neville. They might not be my fucking choices for Caucasians of the year. However, there they are. Now, you had to get that. We had to get through that, so we could get through this. Okay, just remember, St. Peace for Peace doesn't seem to give a shit about the other two. Just Joe. We got to get Joe the fuck off. Well, you know, if we get the other two off, that's fine. But Joe is the one that matters. That's called inclusivity. Inclusivity? It's my white fragility that's all upset right now. No, I'm not paying reparations. I didn't donate. Just if you're asking yourself. You know, I need to just say this real quick. I'm sure there's a lot of black people, I guess, who would gladly accept reparations. It's not a big movement, even in the black movement. You're not going to see a whole lot of fucking folks. You'd imagine all the black people will be signed up to Uhuru, the you honkies underwrite reparations with the urgency movement. No, they're not. How do I know? Because I'm one of the white people that live in a predominantly black working class neighborhood. And, you know, you ask black people in this neighborhood what they think about Uhuru, and most of them will know, if they know anything at all about it, about the FBI raid and how illegal it is and how bullshit it is to suggest that Vladimir Putin was trying to undermine American democracy with this little fringe group in a shithole place like St. Pete back in 2022 when they arrested him. So that's what they know about him. The Uhuru movement is not big in the African American community. Would the idea of reparations be a thing? I'm sure if for some reason I have Scottish Irish heritage in me and English. I used to think Creighton was on my English part, but it's not. I have Scottish and Irish mainly. McGann being Irish and Dooley being Irish, and Creighton being Scottish. There's a Creighton Castle in Scotland. You'd think I would be excited. I would probably accept, from the Irish part of my heritage, reparations if they decided to pay the Irish for the shit they did to the Irish when the Irish came over on the boats. They brought bunches of Irish over on the boats. The Union did back in the day. They had a fucking civil war going on. And they treated them like fucking slaves, basically paying them nothing. And of course, people hated the Irish who were here. People who were here hated the Irish because the Irish were coming in, getting the jobs, getting paid nothing. Because they came over hoping for a new life in the new world. And then during the Civil War days, the Irish who came over hoping for a new life in the new world were taken off the boat. Welcome to America. Here's your fucking boots. Here's your fucking uniform. Get on that train. You're going to go fight our Civil War for us. And so tens of thousands of them died as a result. Would reparations be in order for the families of those folks? Yeah, I guess. Problem is, they didn't really have families because they died fighting for the liberation of black people. There's a lot of people who have been misused in this fucking country by big business, by corporations, by plantations. Lots of folks. Lots and lots and lots of folks. Chinese, Japanese, internment camps, seasonal workers, migrant farm workers. Right now, all kinds of folks. You'd have to pay out. You start paying reparations to one group, and you're going to have to pay out reparations to pretty much everybody, with a few exceptions. So would most African Americans say, yeah, you're going to give us $40,000 for some shit my ancestors or my forefathers may or may not have gone through? Because let's also be honest on this. Not every black person in America had somebody in their family back in the day brought over in slavery. Some came over in the 50s. Some came over in the 30s. Some came over after slavery. Some, like, I don't know, Kamala Harris's parents, who's, I guess Kamala Harris is considered fucking African American. Some own slaves. So, I mean, man, who cares? The point is this. This is not about that. The point is this. The Uhuru movement is not a huge fucking thing in the African American community. Would they accept a $40,000, $50,000 check? Sure, they would. And deposit it with the quickness. Then again, anybody would. So, do I have a lot of respect for the Uhuru movement? No, I do not. I think it's a grift. And I think, do I have respect for white folks with a whole closet full of fucking alphabet fucking t-shirts that they can pick and choose from depending on where they're going so they can blend right in with that identity politics. But the trouble is they have the wrong skin color. So they got to say the right things and they got to weep the right weep. And feel the right feels. There's a certain neurosis. Is that the right word? Psychosis. There's a certain fucking mental illness that goes with constantly having to feel guilty or sad for somebody else to make themselves feel better. They have to go through this catharsis every fucking day. Every day they exist. And those are the kinds of people, by the way, who go to that fucking Uhuru fucking website and they go, oh, well, white people, what can I do to help reparations? Of course I go, weep. Let me get my checkbook. So it's a grift. Does the Uhuru movement do good work to help underprivileged individuals in their communities? Yes. So, is that a positive thing? Yes. But the poison they peddle in order to get it, you're saying the ends justifies the means. And I'm saying they don't. You can take that however you want to take it. Doesn't fucking matter a bit to me. However, I will talk about this federal case now. Which is a federal fucking case. I mean, they literally made a federal case out of it. Let's get the fuck away from them. White solidarity. Black power. Fucking idiots. Okay. Here we go. Just so you know, I didn't make this shit the fuck up. This is the St. Pete for Peace. What have we done recently? Our actions page. 8th annual community potluck gathering. Unity. They bring all the peoples together apparently once a year. That's the last thing they have on their past actions. That was January of 2024. Right here. Here's the date. This is their past actions page. I didn't make that shit up. What'd they do before that? Well, you can go to this list right here. They had an annual community potluck in the park in 2021. They had an annual community potluck in the park 2020. They had some music in 2019. They had 3 events in 2019. They had 2 events in 2018. They talked about Syria back in those days in 2017. 2017, they had several events. In 2016, they had a bunch of events. Well, not as many. But you got to really go back to 2007, 2008. These are the times, 2007, 2008. That's when people like, Scott was attending St. Pete for Peace fucking events. They don't do that shit anymore. Now, apparently, all they do is, that. Send out emails involving one individual. By the way, there are 3 on trial. Unity. Let's talk about this. I don't need to go to these links. Here are these links. They'll tell you everything you need to know. In 2022, after the situation taking place with Russia and Ukraine, they decided to go after these individuals. And they had to go back to a case in which the Uhuru movement got involved in politics. The Uhuru movement in St. Pete, Florida, St. Petersburg, Florida. They had to go all the way back to 2019. And what did they do? What did the feds say happened in 2019? The feds said Russians, at the behest of Putin, decided to influence U.S. elections by communicating with the heads of Uhuru and telling them they wanted their man elected. Now, that's what we do. That's what we do. That's what AIPAC does. That's what AIPAC does. No, feds are arresting people from AIPAC, and they're, what does that thing say? What is that? Universal Democracy Project? Whatever that fucking shit is, that Political Action Committee. AIPAC is technically a political action committee, but they're not the ones who dole out the dough. I covered that shit down below. You can see it down below. So they don't go after them. They don't go after the Ukrainian government funding people in the United States to promote fucking Ukrainian democracy and down with the fucking evil Ruskies. They don't go after them. No, they decide to go after Uhuru. Because this is in 2022. Because apparently, here's the story. This is literally what's being tried a week from today here in Tampa, Florida. They said these 3 individuals, not just Joe by himself, but also the 2 white folks, these 3 individuals conspired with the evil Ruskies, the Russians, who they claim were communist. I don't know. This is the Biden administration now. To influence an election in 2019 in St. Petersburg, Florida. What was the election? City council. It's a city council race. A couple of the members of the city council were up for re-election, and apparently one of them, was supportive of the concept of, I guess, reparations, and so they wanted to make sure he was or she was in reelected, and I guess that's somehow Vladimir Putin gave a shit. I guess because it's St. Petersburg, so symbolically it means something to the evil Ruskies. I don't fucking know. I don't even know what the fucking feds pretend that it means. I'm just, you just have to fucking laugh at it. Here's the U.S. Justice Department's right up on this bullshit. And I promise you, it is total fucking 100% bullshit. Listen, I don't know what's going on with white folks these days. They're just doing fucked up shit everywhere you go. Federal grand jury in Tampa, Florida returned a superseding indictment charging 4 U.S. citizens and 3 Russian nationals with working on behalf of the Russian government in conjunction with the Russian Federal Security Service to conduct a multi-year foreign malign influence campaign in the United States. That's right, boys and girls. And what is the quote from that? What is the different quotes from that? They allegedly funded and directed the political campaign of a candidate running in St. Petersburg 2019 municipal elections when a handful of city council seats were contested. And from the Justice Department's website, among other illegal activities, the superseding indictment alleges that ISNP Popov conspired to directly and substantially influence democratic elections in the United States by clandestinely funding and directing the political campaign of a particular candidate for local office in St. Petersburg, Florida in 2019. You can't make this stupid shit up. You can't make this shit up. You can't. Here are the 4 individuals. Augustus Romaine Jr. Was also charged, otherwise known as Gazi Kodzo, was also charged, but he's no longer apparently involved in the thing. Maybe he turned state's evidence on them. I don't fucking know. One focus of Inov's alleged influence operation was to create the appearance of American popular support for Russia's annexation of territories in Ukraine. For example, in May 2020, Ionov allegedly sent a request he stated was from Russia to the Donetsk People's Republic, an apparent reference to a Russian-occupied region in eastern Ukraine. So this is where we are. Ionov's use of APSP. What is APSP? What is that? I gotta. What does APSP mean? They broke that down. It was ridiculous. What is APSP? African People's Socialist Party. Okay, APSP. Here you go. Ivan's use of the African People's Socialist Party to promote Russian propaganda relating to Ukraine allegedly continued after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. On the day of the Russian invaded Ukraine, February 24, 2022, such and such issued a important message, blah, 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 blah. These people are charged with conspiring to have U.S. citizens act as illegal agents of Russian government within the United States without providing prior notification to the Attorney General. They could do 10 years in prison. And maybe this guy cut a deal. Romaine cut a deal. I don't know, but we only have the 3 left. These 3 right here, which are the ones I've told you about. So that's the charges against them. Interfering with a fucking St. Petersburg City Council election seat election. 1, not all 3 that were up that year, just the 1. And of course, they were pissed off because they were trying to create the appearance of America's popular support for Russia's annexation in Ukraine. They didn't like that. To create the appearance of popular support for Russia trying to stop the neo-Nazis from bombing the people of the Donbass Republic. And that's their fucking charge. Again, not providing material support to terrorists like we do when we all get on board and applaud fucking Benjamin Netanyahu when he speaks in front of our Congress, and like Kamala Harris does when she gives all kinds of fucking money and weapons so they can bomb fucking people in fucking Gaza in hopes that they will leave so that Israel can take the land. Not, Donald Trump when he says, hey, yeah, you can just fucking annex any part of the West Bank you want. You can annex fucking East Jerusalem for all I care. You can take all that land in Sinai or fucking Golan Heights. That's fine. It's not for, they're not charging these people in St. Pete for providing material support to terrorists like we did with ISIS, like we did with Al-Qaeda. Come on now. No, they're not doing that. They can't fabricate that shit. What they're doing is saying that if you write something that the American people will read and say, you know what? Or if you make a video, kind of like this one, telling people, you know what? Shit's going on in fucking Ukraine that's probably shouldn't be going on, and we shouldn't be supporting that fucking Ukrainian dictatorship, nor should we be supporting the one in fucking Gaza, the invasion of fucking Gaza. You saying those things is enough to get you arrested in the new United States of America, in the new normal United States of America. That's what the FBI is doing. And believe it or not, they've decided to move forward with the case, as fucking ridiculous as it is, as idiotic as it is. Will I be going down to protest it? I'm not in the situation where I can go to St. Pete. Maybe, depending on how next month goes and what my finances look like, maybe I'll go down and cover actions down there and see if there's a crowd down there saying this is ridiculous, this is ludicrous. Sure, of course. Like I said, not a big proponent of the, wait a minute, let me get it right now. I don't want to get it wrong. The Uhuru movement, you honkies underwrite reparations with the urgency. I'm not a big fan of them. Though, that said, to me, ends does not justify the means. However, if they are doing some good for some people who are in economic straits, dire straits, if they are helping young people, I don't care what race, but if they are helping young people to achieve a higher education, I'm in support of that as well. But to me, the ends does not justify the means. So I think we've established that in the first fucking 50 minutes of this video. But I do I do support the right of the people, not just one of them, but let's say all three of the ones who were arrested, to have access to the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America. We seem to forget, and this case, I think, is just another example of them trying to have the conversation between the right to freedom of speech and, of course, the need for security to keep crazy people from doing crazy shit because you say things that, maybe we think you shouldn't say. That conversation doesn't need to happen. It's like Scott. It's like yelling fire in a crowded fucking theater. No, it isn't. That's not a valid comparison. That's apples to oranges. You might not like what Penny has to say on her fucking shirt. To respect her right to wear it. You might not like that St. Pete, for peace, apparently doesn't give a shit about Whitey anymore. But you have to fucking respect their right to have that opinion. It's that simple. You have to fucking defend the speech you hate the most if you say you believe in the right to free speech. And that certainly includes, under every measure and every fucking metric, either decided by courts or by the Supreme Court in the past, you have every fucking right to disagree with our glorious leaders and the corporations they work for when it comes to matters of foreign fucking affairs and foreign policies. You have the right to do that. Once you start turning your back on that, well, it's Uhuru. So we don't like what they do and how they try to make white people feel like shit and how they take advantage of white people. So you know what? If they're getting prosecuted, fine. You know, they call themselves a Pan-African socialist. So I'm just going to ignore it. No, you can't. You can't. Because first they came for the socialists. But I wasn't a socialist, so I said nothing. You know what that quote's from? That's why you can't. That's why I spent the whole first 30 minutes of this thing setting you up to not give a shit about the you honkies underwrite reparations with the urgency fucking group. Because however you feel about this fucking group, you should feel some sort of way about the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America. Because once that one's gone, boys and girls, there are no others in the Bill of Rights that will stand. And maybe, just maybe, that's why the FBI chose him in the first place. So, if I get the chance, if I have the means by which to do it, yes, I will go down and see what's going on outside the courthouse. Even though they were arrested in St. Pete, the federal courthouse is down here in Tampa. And so I know my way down there. So I will go down there and cover it down there with this little rig, which BB gave me. This thing right here, which is just collecting dust. I'll take that thing down there, if you like, and see what I can cover, and see what American Everyman can do as a roving reporter on the scene, limping around, wheezing. I'm laughing. I've kind of had fun with this video. However, there was a reason. And the reason was, you're not going to always agree with everybody you have to fucking stand up for and take a stand with. You're not. But that slippery slope becomes a cliff real fucking quick if you don't. In the end, they came for me. And I looked around and I called out for help, but there was no one left. And that shit starts to go downhill really, really fast. I thank you for your time. Food for thought.